Hey, it's Patrick O'Driscoll. In this video, I'm going to discuss one of the most unsexy things when it comes to marketing your brand online, and that is email deliverability. Now, the reason why I am making this a priority and making this its own video is because 9 out of 10 times when we jump into an email account, whether it's Klaviyo or other email platform providers, email health is extremely low. In this video, I'm going to describe how to figure out if your email health is low, how to actually fix that, how to check your email health score, and what you can do here is basically start to implement some strategies that we'll discuss today to boost that email health. This is the most important thing to figure out ASAP because one, it does take time. Two, if you start just blasting your email list with new campaigns and flows without first figuring this out, you're just going to be kind of spinning your wheels in the sand. So your emails are going to spam. Let's fix that. So this is what's causing it, right? So strict spam filters, obviously Gmail, Yahoo, Outlook, and all these email inbox providers have become more and more strict when it comes to emails and going to spam, promotions. You have the promotions tab. The worst inbox or the worst folder you can go into is spam. Then there's like promotions, which you're segmented off from the primary, and you want to land in your primary. So strict spam filters just make it harder and harder to get into the primary inbox where most people are viewing emails. Poor engagement signals. Low open rates, high unsubscribes, and market spam actions flag emails as spam. So we're going to talk about some practices to make sure that people aren't reporting your emails or saying they're spam. Sometimes it's actually the customers or your domain has been just marked as kind of like blacklisted or a spam domain because maybe you've just sent really bad emails over the years and people have reported them. Sender reputation matters. The senders are graded on a sender score. That's what we'll discuss today. So poor practices lead to that more intense spam filtering. Authentication is required, so emails with proper authentication like SPF, DKIM, DMARC. That's the back end things you have to do on the domain side to make sure that your domain is verified and all those custom records are added. Again, just to show that you're a verified domain. Quality over quantity when it comes to the email copywriting and design standpoint. A few best practices there. You don't want to send too many emails. You don't want to send to just like disengaged users. A lot of brands that I see, they blast this massive, large email list that they might have got at trade shows, or even they've bought email lists. They've done a ton of terrible things that have just absolutely destroyed their email health. Compliance. So again, you have to be compliant. UK and Europe, they're a lot more strict when it comes to email best practices. So if you're sending emails to the customers in that area, then that's even more strict. But the US, there are privacy laws and restrictions that you must abide by, or else you're going straight to spam. So how to check your email health score. So when it comes to email health score, and here's an example down below here real quick, right? So this is what the email health score looks like. As you can see in this brand, this is where we came in. We came in actually in May. So you can see that immediate spike by implementing the best practices, and we jumped up to fair. Now, I feel like it's very easy to jump from poor to fair, right? If you jump from poor to fair, you just have to start sending to an engaged list, start segmenting your customers, which we'll discuss. But from going to fair to good to excellent, it does take time. It takes months and months, if not sometimes years, depending on how big your brand is, of building back that sender reputation. This is what the sender score or the email sender score is in Klaviyo. If you're using another platform, they might have other score checks. I just like Klaviyo, so you can kind of quickly get a glance of kind of where you're at based upon a few metrics that Klaviyo pulls. And the way that you go to there is in Klaviyo, just go to analytics, click deliverability, and then you can see that health score, which should look like this. So analytics, deliverability, and boom, you have your email health score. Kind of breaking down the categories here, like poor deliverability is like you're blasting your entire list, your open rates are extremely low, your click-through rates are extremely low, below KPI. And so all you really have to do to get up in the fair is what we've seen has been kind of easy, and you can kind of make this shift over like a month or two. That's why we first do these things. It's just sending to engaged segments, figuring out who that engaged segments are, sending to them consistently, and then really prioritizing click-through rates. Again, they kind of just like, we have to start small and start build that rhythm, and then eventually you can expand that engaged list, and that slowly happens over time. So then you have a wicked large engaged list that will then yield good deliverability, excellent deliverability, which takes time. So it's very easy to make a jump, and it's like kind of like a diminishing returns in the sense like just harder to get that score up. It gets more and more harder the higher you want to reach that score, but it's definitely something you can do pretty fast, right? You saw that jump down here. This is a brand that's been around for 15 years, and we immediately were able to basically over double the deliverability score just by implementing some best practices. So Here are the common pitfalls that cause low email health. So lack of domain authentication. You have to authenticate your domain. You can do that through Klaviyo. Basically, that just means setting up that domain, verifying the records on the domain side. So it's adding those custom DNS records. High bounce rates. So if you're sending emails to invalid or inactive addresses, right? So if you just have a bunch of junk traffic, I see this all the time. Sometimes it's bot attacks or just like terrible emails are just uploaded into the welcome series or the welcome pop-up. So you got to make sure you clean that list. Klaviyo has some, good tools to prevent that and verify emails, but you want to make sure that you're getting those emails out of there. If you keep sending those emails, again, it's going to cause high bounce rates, which is awful for your domain reputation. Sending to unengaged subscribers. So if you're sending to unengaged subscribers, you're simply just never opening your emails. You probably have emails that you never use. I sure do. I have tons and tons of emails at this point that sometimes I literally just use for the pure reason of just like signing up for things like this. So if that's the case, you have a bunch of unengaged people, so start segmenting out. I like to do like 30-day opens, 60-day opens, 90-day opens, 180-day opens, 365-day opens. Just try to test kind of, how large you want the segment to be. When we're starting to clean up, we start to go super short in the sense of like, we only want to literally send to like 30 to 90 day because that's like the most engaged. Over time, you can start to send to more, but really 90 day is like the most. If an account is super restricted, we'll start as low as like 30 days. Just send that list, slowly build that up, and then start expanding to like a 90-day list. Poor list hygiene, so failing to regularly clean the email list. So kind of like what we're talking about, the high bounce rates, you need to make sure that these email lists are clean. Some things that you can do about that. You can have sunset flows that will automatically move unengaged people to a different list to suppress them and allow you to not send to that list anymore. Spammy content. So spam trigger words. So, free, $0. Like there's a lot of these little spam words in copy that we try to avoid because that does flag inbox providers and moves that to spam. Of course, there's a ton of bad practices, right? There's a ton of actual scammers on there. So there's a lot of those things that are a place to prevent scam mail going to inboxes. So that might impact your legitimate offers and legitimate marketing emails. Lack of segmentation, right? If you're just blasting to an entire list that's never been segmented or cleaned, you're going to be having a low deliverability score. Ignoring engagement metrics, oversending or inconsistent sending. So if you're just blasting your list too much, or if you're super inconsistent where you're sending like once and like it's super sporadic and random. I like that consistent cadence. What we do with our clients is we send roughly like every other day. So like 3 to 4 emails a week. Again, depends on the size of the brand, but generally speaking, I think minimum of 2 to 3 times a week is great to just have that consistent cadence and to warm up that email. A few more things here. So not warming up new IPs or domains. If you have a new domain, you can go through email warming. This is basically where programmatically it will start sending to people and start sending to others engage inboxes, and it's a warming thing. Can do that. Klaviyo is pretty good. You don't necessarily need to go use another provider there. I'm talking about a totally new account, no unsubscribe link. Make sure you have an unsubscribe link and don't make it super hard for them to unsubscribe. It's not going to help. Poor content relevance. Like, of course, if you're sending to your email list, you don't want to send something completely out of the norm. If you like buy a list from someone else or you change your business model completely, that's terrible. Your content might not be relevant with those customers. And also that's an example of like kind of the rules and regulations. That's a violation of that. Failure to test emails. So yeah, you can test emails, send them to yourself, see if they trigger spam, things like that. Your email deliverability is poor. We need to take immediate action. Here's exactly what we're going to do. So authenticate your domain. So set up SPF, DKIM, and DMARC records. You can also use like a tool like MK Toolbox to go and verify that this is all set up properly. Clean your email list regularly. So remove unengaged subscribers. So identify subscribers who haven't opened or clicked your emails in the last 90 to 180 days. Remove or re-engage them to improve engagement rates. So what I recommend is you can send like a campaign out to everyone in like this hasn't opened in 180 days or 90, 180 days. Say, hey, it's your last chance. We haven't heard from you. You haven't opened our emails. If you want to stay on the list, please click here or something like that. That way you can try to reignite them, and then you can build a flow to have that automatically going on. So a lot of brands that don't have the flow set up, you have to send a campaign, go one-time blast to everyone, and then you can set up that flow, that sunset flow, basically to automatically, right? It triggers when someone hasn't opened in 180 days. Segment your audience, right? Talked about this before. So past engagement, purchases, browsing behavior, really make sure you have those segments dialed in. Avoid spammy content, so clear, non-spammy subject lines, all caps, right? Free or act now. We do want to, of course, add some urgency and scarcity with our emails, but if you have like just too much of that like spammy, scammy content, it does raise some red flags on the inbox provider side. Balance text and images, so especially image size. So if you have these massive files, like these massive megabyte designs in there, it's gonna take forever to load, and it'll be marked as spam. So make sure you have efficient images and text there. Monitor email engagement rate. Right. If you're below 20, we need to improve that. Really, we're looking for upwards of like 40 or 50%. These are kind of the baselines. Click-through rate, 2 or 3% or higher. I actually kind of like, Klaviyo's been super weird with open rates lately. So it might be even, I think even low as 1. If you're above 1%, you're good. If you're lower than that, then that's something we need to figure out. And then bounce rate. Like bounce rate has to be extremely low, as well as spam complaints. You have to make sure that you're not getting marked for spam. Okay, warm up your IP or domains. You can gradually increase sending volume. So if you are like fresh on an account and you start just sending like 100,000 people like right away, that's not good. So you can just slowly ramp up using engaged lists. Test before sending, send emails to yourself, maintain consistent email frequency, like I said, 2, 3, 4 times a week emails. Include a clear unsubscribe option, and then track your sender reputation. So really, these are the steps you can take to make sure that your email health and email deliverability is improved. Like I said, if you just implement these over the next week or so, you can jump from like a 20 to like a 60 very quick. And then just taking months and months of time of slowly ramping up that list, slowly improving things, you'll see that start to move from like a 60 to 70, 80, 90. Like I said, it does take time. So time is definitely a variable in improving your email deliverability and health score. So if you have any questions, please let me know. I hope this video was valuable for you. If you would like to work with me and my team, we help brands scale online. And one of the big things that we do is we manage email, all done for you. So if you'd like to learn more about that, feel free to book a call down below. But if not, no problem. I'll keep pumping out these valuable trainings and resources, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.